with another word. I was just going through dictionary and I got a word. See, basically, when I conduct my lectures and when I teach my students, I make them understand one particular thing, and that's forever, that not supposed to use extremely difficult words. Why? Because no one has got time to sit with dictionary for 24 hours. There have been some people, I don't deny the fact there have been some people who deep dive into dictionary because they have nothing else to do. For them it's okay. For them it's okay, okay. But for us, for others, those who have other occupations also, they don't have time, to find each and every word in English. Yeah. So when I used to teach, or when I teach right now also, I have come across some people, who are finding it very difficult to speak in English, and they speak in their own mother tongue, but they use some very difficult words which are absolutely not used by people who are fluent in day-to-day English speaking. Yeah. In their professional life, in their domestic life, at home, at office, inside office, at home, they don't use such words. Why? Because these are extremely hardcore words. But these people who have time to deep dive into dictionary find these words and they throw these words like bombs. When I used to teach English, even I became target of this phenomena. Some of students use such words which I hadn't come across, or I had come across but very long time and I forgot the meaning of it. But then I asked them, okay, you use this word, very difficult word, crucial word. Do one thing, you have used this word with the help of your own language. Now try to use this word in English. I said, use this word, extremely difficult word, out of box word. In English, it was not possible for them to use this word in English, but they could use this word while speaking their own language. I said, what have you achieved by doing this? What have you achieved by doing this? Are you trying to prove that you are far superior than others? You can use this word with English, and I bow in front of you, I lean in front of you, I touch your feet. You are my students, I touch your feet, but use these words in English. Don't use these words in your own language. I don't take the name of that, I don't call the language. Yeah, because I don't want to be offensive to anything. Yeah, they were speaking in their own language, mother tongue. Yeah. Why I say so? Why I say so? Because I spent so many years in aviation. The first and foremost thing was told to us by our trainers is to use simple English with English speaking passengers. Yeah. And if there are passengers who can't speak in English, use Hindi or any other language. Yes. If you are in Gujarat, speak in Gujarati. If you are in Punjab, speak in Punjabi. If you are in Maharashtra, speak in Marathi. We are allowed. We are given freedom to speak in regional language also. Why? Because we are here to pass on the instructions. Why? Because they are flying at a very high altitude. Yes, not attitude, altitude. So, if there is a crisis, if there is emergency, they should know what they are supposed to do. Here, to be bombastic, to use bombastic words is not gonna help those passengers. I can use a fluent English, I can use bombastic words, I can use those words which are not used even by Americans and British people for ages. Yes, by that way I can prove as a great orator, but I am not standing to give lecture. Wish to sit or wish to stand, to help guide passengers to follow the instructions, safety instructions. For that we needed to be friendly. So we're told not to use commercial jargons. Commercial jargons means what? Extremely difficult words which are used by a a particular profession. I am into this profession. I can use certain words with my colleagues. They will understand because we are in the same boat. We are selling in the same boat. We are working for the same organization. We're in the same profession. We're in the same what do you call it as in the same stream. Okay, we're in the same stream, like in aviation or in the hospitality industry, in hotels, or in the engineering background, or what I can say, architecture. So people working in a particular stream understand the words used by those people. Yeah, but when you happen to meet outsiders, you're not supposed to use those words because they cannot understand the meaning of it. Yes, and if I'm using those words, I'm trying to prove myself as superior to them, but that is not gonna help. Why? I always tell my students, language is what? Language is the mode of communication. Why communication is important? Why communication is important? Because we are not dogs, we are not cats, we are not animals, we are not birds. Yeah, we are human beings. We have our own necessities. We have our own requirements. Forget the entertainment part later on. Let's discuss later on. Basic requirements. If there's a drought, if there's a cyclone, if there is any natural calamity, the first and foremost thing is what? Food, sanitation, shelter, a roof. These are basic necessities. Now imagine if I go to a foreign country, yes, to a country the language of which is unknown to me. Yeah. I know English, I know Hindi, I know Marathi, I know Punjabi, I can even speak in French also. Some little bit I can manage Spanish also. I understand a little bit German also. Yeah. But imagine that country where these languages are not gonna be spoken. They have their own language, or perhaps I'm on an island, yeah, and there are people who are the habitants of that particular residents of that island who don't understand language, and I'm feeling hungry. How can I communicate? Yeah, I'm doing that's where I can do. This is what language. It is language indeed. When I'm doing this, when I'm putting this, okay. When I'm doing this, this is also language. Yeah, mute language, but language. Why? It's a mode of communication. Indeed. So language is a medium of communication. Now comes a point, crucial point. What are the barriers in the smooth flow of the communication? Believe me, the barriers are built by us, by the speakers, not the listeners. If I'm a speaker, I will build up barriers in my otherwise smooth path of communication. How? By using difficult words which are not understandable by the public in front of me. I'm using extremely difficult contractions, extremely difficult phrases and all. Yes, I can prove to be a great orator, but I fail to be a good communicator. Yeah. I cannot communicate. What I'm saying is not understood by 80% of the people. Out of 20%, 10% have grasped it. Remaining 10% are in a debatable situation. Yes or no? Yes or no? There's a conflict in their mind going on. What he has said means this or that. 80% haven't followed, 10% have followed, and remaining 10% are in a very, very perplexed situation. There's a confusion in their mind. Yeah. So by standing on the dais and giving lecture for an hour or more, what I have achieved? So you should know the platform. I never say the label. Who am I to take out label of anyone? I never say label. I say platform. Platform is a better word. Instead of saying label, I use platform. So when you are addressing to a group of people, you should know they are standing on which platform. Which platform they occupy. Accordingly, you have to use the words. Accordingly, you have to use the contractions. Accordingly, you have to use the speed of a language. Fine, you have a great fluency, but people in front of you, they belong to rural backgrounds. I generally get students from rural background, but I purposely speak very fast. I use very I use velocity while speaking to make them understand that one fine day they have to reach this level, they have to reach this platform, to make them aware where I want to take them, where I want to lead them, to make them realize this. I speak very fast, but immediately after 10 minutes I come back, I reduce my gears and become extremely friendly with them. So it's about it. So language is a medium of communication. We must make sure that we don't build up barriers in the smooth process of communication. So I was just going to dictionary. I found a word. I have never used this word, friends. First time I read this word. Let me tell you this word. I would never use this word. Believe me, I would never ever use this word. Now, which is that word? Hedonist. 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 Hedonist means what? Hedonist. I say, oh, you're behaving like a hedonist. What's wrong with you? You're behaving like a hedonist. If someone tells me, what's wrong with you? You're behaving like... Excuse me, sir. If someone tells me, you're behaving like a hedonist, what's wrong with you? What would be my reply? I'll tell you. I will enact. I will enact. I'm sorry, sir. But this word hedonist, I'm not aware of. First time I came to know about this word. And sir, I'm not into, learning very hardcore words because I'm occupied with something else. I rarely get time to deep dive into a dictionary. So please, could you use a better word, a simpler word in this place? Otherwise, can you please be kind enough to give me the meaning? Or can you please convey your message in a simple terms? Yeah, I would say so. Well, but I must know hedonist. What is the meaning of hedonist? A person who believes that pleasure is the most important thing in life. A person who believes that pleasure is the most important thing in life. Debatable situation, right? Debatable, it's debatable. Because everyone is in search of happiness. Everyone is running in pursuit of pleasure. Now, pleasure is a debatable term again. It could be a financial pleasure. If a person has fallen sick, what is the pleasure? He wants to recover. Recovery is the pleasure for him. If a person is badly into financial crisis, what is pleasure? Some amount of money for relief, that is pleasure. If a person is if a particular group of people, they are facing the operations by a ruler. By operations means what? Not those operations that are conducted by doctors and nurses. No, doctors. I'm not talking about operation. Operation means what? A very very harsh rule. Very very harsh rule where the people are abused. Physically, mentally, they are tortured. Okay, it's a torture. Okay, so a particular group of people is undergoing a torture. So for them, pleasure is what? To come out of that situation. So pleasure differs from place to place, from person to person, from scenario to scenario. Also, so here everyone is running in pursuit of pleasure. The definition of pleasure is same, but the scenario will differ. From place to place, from person to person, and time to time also. So, who are we to call someone as hedonist? Hedonist. Everyone seems to be running in pursuit of pleasure. So, I would not call anyone as a hedonist. Frankly speaking, I would not use this word. The noun is hedonism. 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 Hedonism means what? The belief that pleasure is the most important thing in life. The ideology is that the pleasure is everything. No, there are some people I have found they're running after money. They get lakhs insufficient, they get crores insufficient, they get Arabs insufficient, they have lots and lots of castles, bungalows, properties, cars, luxuries, everything, but yet it is insufficient. So here we can say there is no end for hedonism. Hedonism. See, the spelling is Hedonism. Someone can say hedonism. Okay. Why Hedonism? Hedonism. But it is not pronounced as hedonism. It's pronounced as hedonism. Hedonism. Yeah, pronunciation differs. I mean, it's American pronunciation. It differs. There's a completely. It's a different subject. Let's not talk right now. So hedonism. That's a hedonism. That's a sign of hedonism that you have got castles in various countries. You roam about various across continents. You dine in 7-star hotels. You sleep in cruises, Miami cruise and all. Yet you are dissatisfied. This is an example of hedonism, but there is no end for your demands. Yeah. So with this I take your leave. Let me see if I can come with some other word. Thank you, friends. I lean on you. Bye.